Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. So we start our lecture first with Surah Al-Fatihah. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So welcome to Power Generation, Transmission and Distribution subject. The code subject is BF36003. So I'm the lecturer, Dr. Nurhanis binti Muhammad Razi. For this subject, we have 5 sections and I have to handle 2 sections, which are section 1 and section 2. Section 3 will be handled by Associate Professor IR Dr. Irwan bin Sulaiman, and section 3 and also section 4 and 5 will be handled by Puan Rohaiza binti Hamdan. So basically for each of these section we have 35 of students, and I hopefully that you can check your name and make sure that you are in the right sections. Okay, so all of you have known that because of the COVID-19 pandemic, so we have to do our teaching and learning session using the online platform. So basically for this subject, I prefer to use YouTube for the teaching and learning session, which is the asynchronous method. And then I will inform all the latest information regarding the subject in author. Okay, so make sure that you join the author. I'll give you the author codes after this. So basically for my section, I have two sections, section 1 and section 2. Okay, so for section 1, the class will be on Sunday. Okay, Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. While for section 2 will be on Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Okay, you just ignore the location because we will do our class using online platform. Okay, this is the details of myself. So my name, Dr. Nurhanis binti Muhammad Razi, my room at QA, block QA 501 21 bilik 16, and then this is my email, nurhanis@uthm.edu.my, and this is my contact number 013-7716-678. So for this subject, I have created the group WhatsApp. So for those who still not join the group WhatsApp, you can just WhatsApp me and I'll give you the link for the group WhatsApp. Okay. So this is the student academic load for this subject. So we have 3 types of categories for the activities, which are the online learning, okay, independent study, and also the formal assessment. Okay, basically for the online learning, we will use the online lecture. I will give online lecture using YouTube. I will share to all of you the link for every of the video for each of the chapters, and you have to subscribe the YouTube channel. Okay, and then for the total hours per semester for this online lecture is about 38 hours per semester. And then we don't have any tutorial or practical, but I'll give you some examples that you can enhance the knowledge of this subject. And then we also have the other student-centered learning activities, which is the group project. I'll give you the group project, and you also have to do this group project by online with your team members. Okay, so allocated about 4 hours per semester for this group project. And then the second category is the independent study. So we allocate about 20 hours per semester for your assignment, project, and others. And then about 30 hours per semester for your revision time, okay, to cover for test, quiz, and also final exams. And then preparation for assessment, about 12 hours per semester. Okay. And then we have the formal assessment. So for formal assessment, we have the quiz, the test, and also video presentation. So for the continuous assessment, about 13 hours per semester. And then for the final exam is about 3 hours per semester. So in total, for the student learning time, SLT is about 120 hours per semester for this subject. Okay, we look on what is the goals for this power generation, transmission, and distribution. Of course, about the generation, transmission, and distribution. So, the aim of this course is to provide students with a systematic understanding, okay, of the operation of a modern electrical power network, which consists of the generation, transmission, and the distribution, the GTDs, okay. So, all of this chapter will cover the generation, transmission, and distribution. Okay, the topics include various types of power generation technologies, and then study of elements of transmission and distribution, the constants of the transmission, and the types of transmission system and the AC distribution. So all about the GTD, generation, transmission, and distribution system. Okay, for the course learning outcomes, we have three course learning outcomes. Okay, so at the end of this course, the student will be able to, the first one is analyze the various types of power generation and elements of transmission and distribution systems based on electrical power theory. So this, the first CLO, the first course learning outcomes, will map. Okay, we map it with the PLO number 1. So basically, in FKE, we have 12 PLOs. This is the new PLO, so we have 12 PLOs. PLOs stand for Program Learning Outcomes. Okay, so PLO 1 is KN is referring to knowledge. Okay, so the aim of the first course learning outcomes is about your knowledge. Okay, and then C is stand for the cognitive. Okay, cognitive level 4. Okay, that one is for the first course learning outcomes. The second one is conduct a project on generation, transmission, and distribution of electrical power according to accepted practice and regulation. So for the CLO2, we map it with the PLO10. Okay, PLO10 CS. Okay, CS is what? CS is communication skill. Communication skills. And P stand for psychomotor. Okay, psychomotor level 4. Okay. Okay, and then the third one is recognize the effects of environmental issues with regards to electric power system. So this CLO3, we map with the PLO7. PLO7 is ENVS, is environmental and sustainability. So A stand for effective. So effective 3, level 3. Okay. Okay, this is the overview of the lesson plan. Okay, first I want to highlight is about the online platform. So for this subject, I will use the Otter system. So so you have to join Otter system by using this code. Okay, so PESAFB. So you just key in this code, then you can join my Otter for this subject. Okay, so for this subject, we have eight chapters. Okay, the first one is introduction. Introduction about, we allocate estimate that we allocate for chapter 1 about 3 hours. So introduction, we'll talk about the importance of electrical energy, some of the history of electric power system, modern electric power system, units of energy and efficiency. Okay, that one is for the introduction. The second one is electric power generation technologies for chapter 2. Estimated about 9 hours and 9 hours for this chapter. For this chapter, we'll talk about the conventional power generation technologies and then the renewable energy sources and economics of the power generation. Okay, chapter 3, we have elements of transmission and distribution system. Estimate about 6 hours. Okay, and then in this chapter, we'll cover about the transmission of electrical energy, the performance of transmission line, design of the transmission line, different systems of power transmission, comparison on volume of copper used for different system of transmission of power, classification of distribution system, design considerations in distribution system, and underground and overhead system. That one is for chapter 3. And then next is the chapter 4, which is overhead lines and its mechanical characteristic. So about 6 hours. So it will cover about the main components of overhead lines, the conductors materials, line supports, cross arms, insulators, potential distribution over suspension insulator string, method of improving the string efficiency, and then about the corona, the set in overhead lines, and some of the mechanical principles. And then for chapter 5, the constants of transmission line, which is we focus more on the electrical characteristics, allocated times about 6 hours. So we cover about the resistance of the transmission line, the inductance of the transmission line, electric field and potential difference, and also the capacitance of the transmission line. And then chapter 6 is transmission line performance, which is about 3 hours. So it will cover about transmission line models, short line, medium line, and long line. And then we have chapter 7, which is the power factor improvement. Allocated time is about 3 hours. We cover about the causes of low power factor, the effects of low power factor improvement equipments, calculations of power factor correction, and also the importance of this power factor improvement. And finally is chapter 8, which is AC distributors. Allocated time is about 6 hours for this chapter, which consists of substations, distribution feeder circuits, switches, protective equipment, distribution transformer, layout of distribution systems, feeders and distributors, classifications of distribution system, primary distribution system, secondary distribution system, and also the planning distribution system. So this is all the 8 chapters that we'll cover in this subject. Okay, this is the assessment for this subject. So we have 2 types of assessment. The first one is for the coursework. The second one is the final exam. So for the coursework, we have 3 types of assessment. The first one is test. We only have 1 test, 1 quiz, and also group project for this subject. So for test 1, this is for assess CLO1. Okay, we plan to do it in week 7 on 26th of November 2020. So on Thursday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. So you have to book, okay? Book this slot for this subject, okay? This test is also online. We use the online platform, okay? For test, we'll cover chapter 1, 3, and 4. Okay, and then the percentage for marks is about 20%. The second one is quiz. So also assessed for the CLO1 will be on week 12, chapter 5, and also online. Okay, and then for quiz is about 5%. And then for the third one is the group project. So group project, for group project is we want to assess for the CLO2 and CLO3. So you have to submit the video presentation and also report by week 14th of January 2021. And for group project, it covers chapter 2. And allocated percentage for marks is about 25%. Okay, and then the final examination for CLO1 will cover chapter 6 until 8. So we have 3 set of questions and the percentage marks is about 50%. So in total for this subject assessment is 100%. Okay. Okay, this is the timeline for the for this subject assessment. So we start with the week 1, okay, and then week 3 I will brief to you on the group project instruction, okay, and then in week 7 we have the first test, okay, and then after that week 12 we have quiz, week 14 you have to submit the video and also the report, and we 16 to 18 we have the final exam. Okay, week. Here is revision week. Okay. So this is the references that you can use for this subject. We have 14 references, and all of these books you can find it at the library, UTHM library. Okay, and then this is some of the attendance and regulations. So for each of the subject actually, for the all subjects in UTHM. So the attendance and regulations is for the attendance, students must attend not less than 80%. So make sure that you come to the class 80% and above. Okay. So if less than 80%, you're not allowed to attend for the lecture and sit for any form of assessments. So less than 80% equivalent to 3 times, 4 times you are not coming to class without any justification, then you are not allowed to attend lecture and also sit for assessment, especially the final examination. Okay, so this one students should adhere to the UTHM DAS regulation. Okay, if you're for the face-to-face, okay, you have to follow the UTHM DAS regulations. Okay, and with that, I thank you. Thank you so much. We will continue for the next chapter, which is chapter 1. Thank you.